Staying within your skill set and never wavering is a talent. Just because flashy is not a part of your game doesn't mean we as fans should take a player for granted. Wes Unseld only wanted to make the right play. Play tough defense, grab the rebound, then throw the perfect outlet pass to get an easy basket. So join me today to find out how this approach led Wes Unseld to be one of the all-time players in the basketball experiment. Wes Unseld was selected second overall by the Baltimore Bullets in the 1968 draft. He moved instantly into the starting center role. It was a strong rookie season, playing at an all-star level. The Bullets would have the first winning season in franchise history, winning a whopping 57 games. And in perhaps the most shocking award moment in NBA history, rookie Wes Unseld was named MVP. And we are going to look at the rookie MVP season for Unseld. First, with the basic stats, easily a double-double of nearly 14 points, 18 rebounds, 2.6 assists. We don't have stocks yet, so that doesn't come in until 74. And we'll see what level he's at in the advanced stats. PER of 18.1, win shares per 48 of 0.175, the total win shares at 10.8. So let's just cut down to it. Is this an MVP level season? It's pretty harsh, but the answer is of course not. It's not even at an all-NBA level. It is at an all-star level. So it's not, it's not like a role player won the MVP. Let's be fair to Wes Unseld. But no, he was not an MVP level caliber player. Certainly not as a rookie. If we just take the controversy away, with a second overall pick to have an all-star level rookie season, that's pretty good. This would be the first postseason trip for the Bullets in 3 years. It was the best team they had assembled and had expectations facing the Knicks in the semifinals. However, they would be easily dispatched, being swept by the Knicks. Despite the brutal defeat, Unseld played well, averaging an impressive double-double of 18 points and 18 rebounds and shooting 52%. The league did not feel the same about Unseld in the 1970 season as they did the previous year. He would finish 8th in the MVP voting. Now we're going to take a look at Unseld's second season, following up his MVP season. See, the points go up from 13.8 to 16.2. Rebounds go down 1.5 to 16.7, and the assists going up by 0.9. He shoots a better percentage. Last year he shot 47%. This year at 51%. We'll check on the advanced stats. And pretty interesting, the PER drops 0.3, 18.1 to 17.8. Win shares per 48, a little bit of a dip, 0.175 to 0.164. Total win shares go up slightly as well. It's still an all-star level, in my opinion, nearly around the same numbers he put up last year. He won the MVP, and it's almost like the players who had the vote for the MVP during this era, it's almost like they were mad at themselves for giving him the MVP when they should have never have given it. By seeing him put up nearly the same production, dropping from finishing first to 8th, it seems that they had already regretted voting him for the MVP. Still, compliment him. It's still an all-star level season. He's still a young player, and we'll see where he heads from here. The Bullets were back in the playoffs, facing the Knicks in the semis again. This time, it would be a battle. Unseld would grab 24 rebounds in Game 6 to help force a Game 7. In that game, Unseld only made one shot on 8 attempts as the Knicks rolled the Bullets, sending them home again. Unseld played at an all-star level in the 1971 season, but the team had fallen off winning only 42 games. In the playoffs, facing the 76ers, the Bullets surprisingly went up 3-1. The Sixers won the next 2 games thanks to spectacular performances from Billy Cunningham. A rough shooting night in Game 7 for Unseld, he would still provide 22 rebounds, as the Bullets held on for the win and advanced to the conference finals. It would be a third straight matchup against the Knicks. The Bullets fell down 3-2 in the series after a gritty Game 5 defeat. They would respond with a resounding Game 6 win. Unseld would contribute 17 points and 20 rebounds as the Bullets edged the Knicks in Game 7 to advance to the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history. The Bullets were completely overmatched facing the Milwaukee Bucks. As a team, they shot a combined 38% while being swept out of the championship. Now we'll take a look at the 1971 finals run for Wes Unseld. Basic stats: 13.2 points, nearly 19 rebounds, 3.8 assists, shot 46% from the field. We'll see what the advanced stats say. PER of 17.3, win shares per 48.149, and the total win shares at 2.4, including leading the playoffs in defensive win shares with 1.8. Also led the playoffs in games played and total minutes played as well, so a long run for Unseld on the court. Seeing him play through a finals run, staying at his all-star level, to me is something of note. Following last year's Cinderella run, the Bullets delivered an underwhelming season with 38 wins. Unseld had had his least productive season, and in the playoffs, in another matchup with the Knicks, the Bullets would lose in 6. Rejuvenation would happen to the Bullets in the 1973 season, bringing in Elvin Hayes to play power forward and Phil Chenier starting to play at a higher level. Mixing this with Unseld bouncing back to all-star level production, the Bullets would win 52 games. However, in the playoffs, the Knicks' backcourt of former Bullet Earl Monroe and superstar Walt Frazier took out the Bullets in 5 games, meaning in Unseld's 5-year career, they had lost 4 times to the Knicks in the postseason. The 1974 season would be an injury-plagued year for Unseld. Battling the Knicks yet again in the playoffs, the Bullets lost Game 7, falling to the Knicks again. Game 7 would be a low point for Unseld, scoring 0 points and for him, a low 9 rebounds. Everything would come together in the 1975 season. The Bullets set a new franchise record with 60 wins. Unseld bounced back to an all-star level and led the league in rebounding, averaging 14.8 a game. The Bullets would have to play New York in the playoffs again, but this time it would be upstate in Buffalo. In Game 7, the Bullets confidently won, with Unseld only taking 2 shots, but still contributed 12 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 blocks. Back in the conference finals for the first time in 4 years, Unseld averaged nearly 17 rebounds, and his stalwart defense helped defeat the Celtics to advance to the finals for the second time in his career. The Bullets came into the finals as the favorites against the Warriors. Unseld comfortably averaged a double-double with 12.3 points and 16.8 rebounds and shot 52%. It was a close scoring series, but just like in 1971, the Bullets were swept out of the championship. And we'll take a look at the 1975 finals run for Unseld. The basic stats: 10.7 points, 16.2 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 2.1 stocks, shot 54%, These numbers look pretty much like Unseld's regular numbers, but we'll see what the advanced stats say. The PER at 15, the win shares per 48 of 0.162, total win shares 2.5. The second time, he's led the postseason with defensive win shares at 1.4, and the BPM at 4.7, the VORP at 1.2. In my opinion, the level he's at here is more of a borderline all-star level, but I feel he was still just a little bit better in 71 in that finals run. But he's still putting up his Wes Unseld numbers of the comfortable double-double and a nice assist, too, for a center. He is a very consistent player. The 1976 season would be the last time Unseld received an MVP vote. He would play at a borderline all-star level. The team stayed good, but dropped to 48 wins. They would lose Game 7 to the Cavs in the semis. It seemed their contending window had closed. In the 1977 season, Unseld turned 30 and was far away from an all-star level, looking more like a veteran starter. The Bullets would get a little taste of revenge, beating the Cavs in round 1 of the playoffs, but lost to the Rockets in the semis. In the 1978 season, the Bullets had dropped to 44 wins, and Unseld stayed at a starter level. In the playoffs, the Bullets surprised the Spurs in the semis, going up 3-1 and winning the series in 6 to advance back to the conference finals for the first time since the 75 run. The surprising run continued as the same thing happened against the 76ers, going up 3-1 and then defeating them in 6. The Bullets were back in the finals. Their opponent, a surprise team themselves, the Sonics. It would be Unseld's third attempt at a title. There was no sweep this time. The series would go 7, and in that game, star Elvin Hayes fouled out, and Unseld contributed 15 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and only 1 turnover, as the Bullets held on for the victory and won the first championship in franchise history. In his 10th season, the former rookie MVP Unseld had won the title and was awarded the Finals MVP. In the 1979 season, Unseld had his minutes cut slightly, but gave better production, having his best season since 1975, including averaging a double-double for the first time since 1973. The Bullets showed no championship hangover, improving by 10 wins, finishing with 54. It would be a wild ride in the playoffs, nearly blowing a 3-1 lead to the Hawks in the semis, but hung on for the win in Game 7. Then in the conference finals, mounting a 3-1 comeback against the Spurs to get back to the finals and attempt a repeat. It would be a finals rematch against the Sonics, but the magic had run out. They were defeated in 5. Now we will take a look at the combined runs of the 1978 title run and the 1979 finals run for Unseld. First with the basic stats, he's not at the double-double anymore. Not quite there. So close. 9.8 points, but 12.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and just at 1.5 stocks as he's getting older and obviously not blocking as many shots. But we'll check on the advanced stats. And the PER right at 15, win shares per 48 of 0.143, and the BPM at 3.4. Now Unseld into his 30s, age 31 and age 32. I don't feel he's at an all-star level anymore. I feel he's at the level below, which is what I call the high-value starter level. He's still valuable out there, but he's just older now. Not at the all-star level he was in the previous final runs. But this one, I'm sure, was obviously meant more to Unseld as she captured the only championship of his career in 1978. The Bullets got old overnight in the 1980 season, falling under 500, and had their 2-year conference championship run meekly end, losing both games to the 76ers in round 1. The 1981 season would be the final one for Unseld, still able to provide starter-level production, but the team stayed under 500, and for the first time in Unseld's career, the Bullets missed the playoffs. And we will take one final look at the career of Wes Unseld, looking at his prime, which encompasses 11 seasons. He stayed very consistent for a long time, 69 season through 79 season. First with the basic stats in the regular season, averaging a double-double, 11 points, 14 rebounds, just under 4 assists. Now the stocks are not accurate. I put it there, it's 1.7, but the first 5 years of his career, we don't have steals or blocks. So it's just the last 6 years of his prime, but I just threw it in just to show some approximation. We'll see what the advanced stats say. And the PER at 16.2, as we know, not a very high usage rate offensive player. Win shares per 48 of 0.15. The average win shares per season was 8.7. And same thing with the BPM as with the stocks. It's not counted for the first 5 seasons. It's at a 3.1. That's just an approximation again. So in my opinion, I would say in the regular season, during his prime, he's a solid player, not a guaranteed all-star every year, but on the borderline at least. If he didn't make it, then he was on the borderline. Now we'll look at the prime playoff statistics and compare them to the regular season. The points go down just slightly by 0.5 down to 10.6. Rebounds go up slightly to 0.6 at 14.9. The assists virtually the same at nearly 4. And the approximation of the stocks does go down from 1.7 to 0.6. But we don't, once again, missing those first 5 seasons. Take a look at the advanced stats. We see the PER goes down slightly, 1 point from 16.2 to 15.1. The win shares per 48 do drop down from 0.15 to 0.126. The highest win shares he had was in the 75 finals run at 2.5. I didn't include the highest VORP because we're not entirely sure. It could have been in 71. We just don't have information. And the BPM approximation, roughly the same, 3.1, 3.4. So the playoff stats would say he is not at an all-star level, high value, more in the high-value starter level. So he does drop down in the playoffs. And now we will get to the final summation, comparing him to the players who have already made this list. Unseld's statistics stand out, obviously, as the least remarkable we've seen. So how did he make this list this high? Well, I can confess a little bit. It is a bit of a glitch in the formula. I only include 2 awards, and he won them both, the MVP and the Finals MVP. In my opinion, I don't think he should have won either, but he did, and I count them from everyone, so I count them for him as well. If you took those 2 awards, would he have made this list? No, he would not have. So those awards are doing most of the heavy lifting. But that's very negative. Now to get to more positive, I personally do like Unseld as a player. I think he is a good player. Greatness, he was close on some occasions in the early regular seasons and the playoffs, some of those finals runs, but not quite there approaching greatness, but still a really good player, an all-star level player at his best. Another factor why he would be here, being the top defender on 2 finals teams, specifically talking about 71 and 75, is impressive and did give him some weight. But I have to say, even that would not be enough without those 2 major awards. That's the reason why he's here. It's not the statistics. So in this case, Unseld does essentially, you hate to say it, he does sneak on this list. In retrospect, looking at his statistics, we see that he does not hold up to the great level that would have been thought of in his era. But I do have to stress again, he is not a role player. He is not on some so remote a level that it's embarrassing. If you agree or disagree, let me know down in the comments. And thank you for watching.